So we've got some questions to go through and solve. We're going to start off on this top left one. It says find the minor arc length. So the minor arc again is going to be this piece right here. All right, so if we're trying to find the arc length for this minor arc, we're going to utilize all this information. It does say to leave our answer in terms of pi, so we'll think about that as we get closer to the end. So, a couple different ways to think about it. Remember, we have our arc length formula and we have our proportion. I'm going to go ahead and show you both on this one. So we have first arc length equals 2 pi, our radius is 4. So 2 pi times 4 times my central angle, which is 70 over 360. So that is our formula. All right, and I'm going to actually move that a little bit. That way we can work over here. I'm going to go on ahead and write both equations or write both situations together. So our proportion said 70. Let me draw a line that way I don't get confused. Our proportion said 70 over 360. So taking our central angle over 360 equals our arc length, which is what we're solving for. So I'm just going to put AL there, over 2 pi times my radius, which is 4. All right. So when I have that, I'm going to go on ahead and actually work this. To get arc length by itself, I'm going to cross multiply. We end up with, and I'll actually use a different color because I'm going to end up doing the same thing. So AL, or 360 times AL, 360 times AL equals 2 pi times 4, okay? And then that's going to be multiplied by 70. And then I'm going to end up dividing both sides by 360. 360. So we end up with AL equals 2 pi. I'm going to actually go on ahead and change that. 2 times 4 is 8. So 8 pi times 70 over 360. Okay. And this is actually the same. When we work this down over here, arc length equals 8 pi times 70 over 360, because this is on the numerator. This 2 pi times 4 is on the numerator. And so we're going to multiply across. So we actually end up being the same on both. So again, doesn't really matter which one you choose as long as you're consistent with it. Now that I've got them all on the same page, I'm just going to work down this left side, okay? I don't think you need to see me do it multiple different ways. It does say to leave our answer in terms of pi, so I'm going to leave this alone, and I'm just going to work everything else. So 8 times 70 equals 560. So arc length equals 560 pi over 360. And I already know that those zeros can cancel out. I'm doing 56 divided by 36 essentially, but because I have it in my calculator already, I'll divide by 360, and I get this 1.5 repeating number. But if I hit math and frac, it's going to give me a nice, much prettier fraction, which is 14 pi over 9. That is my answer left in terms of pi. I guess technically, if you wanted to leave it as that decimal, 1.5 repeating pi, that would be okay. This is in centimeters. I would prefer to see that answer as a fraction when we're leaving your answer in terms of pi, but technically that bottom one is just fine. Going forward, I'm not going to do multiple different ways. I'll do whichever one kind of works best for the situation. So in this case, we are looking for the arc length for ML. So that is what we are solving for. So x, or arc length, equals 2 pi, my radius, which is 5, times 50 over 360. So I end up going 2 times 5. Again, we want our answer in terms of pi. So we're going to leave pi in our answer. We've got x equaling 10 pi times, and then I'll just do 50 divided by 360. math frac. That's going to be 5 over 36. We couldn't do anything but take off those zeros, which is fine. 10 times 5 equals 50. So x equals 50 pi over 36. We'll do 50 divided by 36, math frac, and that will simplify down to, excuse me, 25 pi over 18 feet. And technically, if you wanted to leave it as the decimal, 1.38 with that 8 repeating pi feet. Okay, I'd prefer to see it as the one that's circled, but do what works best for you. Over here, find the length of DE. So if I'm finding the length of DE, okay, my central or my arc length, or DE, is going to be 2 pi times my radius, which is 8, okay, times my central angle, 160 over 360. I'm going to work this down. We've got 16 pi times 160 divided by 360, math frac. So that's going to be 4 over 9. And that's going to be, so 16 times 4 equals 64 pi over 9. Now let's see if I can simplify that at all. 64 divided by 9 gives me 7.1 repeating, math frac. Nope, that's as simple as I can make it. So we've got 64 pi over 9 yards for our arc length. Or if I wanted to evaluate it, it would be 7.1 repeating pi yards. That would also be something that would work. All right. And then down here, find the length of arc YZ. Remember, anytime we only have those two letters, we're going the short way around. All right, so I'm going to go this direction. However, it does give me this central angle, but in order to find the one that I need, I actually need to do 360 minus 240, which is going to give me 120 degrees, okay? And that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to go on ahead and put that in there. 360 minus 240 gives me my actual central angle that I'm going to utilize. Arc length equals 2 pi, my radius, which is 13, times 120 over 360, which means 2 times 13, 26 pi, times 120 divided by 360, math frac, which is 1/3. So we end up with arc length equaling 26 pi over 3. 26 divided by 3, math frac, doesn't simplify any more than that. So we've got our arc length as 26 pi over 3 feet. But as you can see in there, okay, 26 divided by 3 is 8.6 repeating feet. Don't forget your pi because we are leaving our answer in terms of pi. Don't forget that. And that will take care of everything that we're doing here. I'm going to go on ahead and underline that. That way we don't forget it when we're looking at it later. Okay, clean that up a little. And there we go. So, again, once you have the formula, once you have the one that works best for you, all you need to do is make sure that you know the radius, make sure you know the central angle, and then you're just kind of plugging and chugging away. So, it's a lot of just working it down at that point.